Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Hangout with Busayo. Okay, today on the show we are having someone, a special guest with us in the studio. But before I introduce him, this period of lockdown, or I know you'll be wondering that, okay, what is this guy talking? Every time I'm always attributing these things to lockdown. But I know most of us, we are scared of being round. When I mean round, like being like a ball, like I mean being too fat, and you want to go and do exercise and all those things, and not knowing that you have to first of all watch your diet before, even when you do exercises, you need to really watch over your diet also. So guess what? We have a dietitian in the house. Yes, 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 a nutritionist and dietitian. We have Joshua with us here, who is a dietitian. We're going to be talking about your nutrition in general. So, Joshua, just say hi to the people.
Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. I'm a nutritionist by profession. I'm here to lecture us on what we need to take during this time.
Okay, so we'll just kick up right away. And now I would want to, let's start from this angle. Looking at people that don't have really much, how can they really stabilize their diet to make sure that they live well with the little thing they have?
Okay, let's first start like this, that your financial status, though, has an impact on your diet, but factor that has the most impact is your decision. If you, with the little you have, you can find a quality diet and a balanced diet. So not necessarily you just buying anything, but it's a decision that, okay, out of the little I have, I want to be buying fruits every day, and you keep that money for it. But if not properly planned, you can now say you would have used the money for another thing, then now believe that you don't have enough for your diet. But during these times, in the little we gather to buy food stuff, we should buy in proportions that we will know that when we combine them and cook in varieties, we can be able to gain a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrient that is able to propel us to fight. Because at this time of COVID-19, what everybody needs to strive for is how to build their immune system. So we need to check on foods that will actually help my immune system. Because if I have a good immune system, I won't break down easily at any sort of disease. So it's not necessarily about the money, though the money is a good factor. It depends on how you get it, but it's a proper plan of what you want to get at this time. So in the little you have, you buy the food stuff in proportion, and then you try and get fruits and vegetables. It will help a lot at this time.
Okay, you just made mention of something that really got to me. Now, okay, what are the things like the food? Can you just maybe give us example of food that we can at least get? It may be anything that can help us build our immune system.
Okay, let me start from where I stopped. We were talking about the financial. Now, there are many rich people in quotes. Many rich people are not really dieting well, and they have the money. So what we are saying is, when we talk about immune system, most times you go for plant-based diet. Okay. For instance, now you can have money and then you decide to just be eating suya, eating burger and everything. At this time, it won't be the best. But what will really help now is plant-based diet. When we talk about plant-based diet, your vegetables, the beans, things that are from plant origin. And why is this? It's because they actually contain high fiber. And what fiber does is that it helps the body, the bowel movement. It helps it gives some nutrients and we call some things antioxidants in food. And what those antioxidants does is that they fight some free radicals in the body. These free radicals attack our immune system. So what they do is the antioxidants helps to propel the body cells, which is, we have the blood cells that help in the immune system, which is the white blood cell. So they support the white blood cell in fighting any disease that comes to the body. So foods that contain this is that we have foods that are rich in vitamin E also, and vitamin C, like the citrus fruit. We have some seeds. We have fruits and vegetables, like I've mentioned. We have broccoli. Those are under vegetables and everything. All this we have some beta carotenous food. That's the precursor for, we have vitamin A. So like carrots and everything, we can also incorporate this into our diet. It helps to build the immune system.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And I would want to also ask about, okay, we've spoken about diets now, and let's talk about preservatives. What do you have to advise us concerning preservation of things?
Okay, a lot of ways. I would try to tend more to the poor masses, because if you have a deep freezer, wow, it will be a nice one to preserve. But let's say someone that doesn't have a deep freezer, now how do they go about this? Buying vegetables, buying fruits, and how do they preserve it? The first thing want to say is people should avoid processed food at this time. People should avoid most processed food. So what we do is when you buy your food stuff and then you cook it, if you don't have a freezer to keep it, you can just buy in proportions that are okay. You don't mix perishable food with non-perishable food. What I mean is you don't put rice under a wet, you don't mix them together. And then maybe you bought one before, you keep that one in another place, then keep the new one. Use the one that has been home before, so that you understand, so that you can exhaust the former goods. Then this one will still be fresh. You don't mix things that for example, you can't mix a tomato now, put your vegetables on it. What happens is it affects each other, and then it gets perish. It get that the other one gets perished easily. But what you do is you try and separate them differently. Then in the kitchen where you are keeping these things in the bucket, they need to be kept clean. It should be a place where they are water free. Then for the vegetables, like the local way they do it, many people can put it in basket and put it outside because of the dew and everything to just still make it fresh.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now let's now move to those people that wants to burn fats, wants to burn everything you have to do. Now, what what will you advise those people? At some point in time, there's this illustration that always comes to my head that some people will just come and say, I want to burn fat. Just imagine influence now saying he wants to burn fat, and you just wake up, just jog maybe 1 meter and comes back and be like, wow, I think I'm slim already, and we go back to the same routine of diet. And at the end of the day, it's really affects them. What do you have to say for people that are engaging in the form or any form of exercise to reduce or to maintain a healthy shape?
Okay, in reducing weight, I would just like to illustrate 3 things, because there are so many things online that I would say they are not true. So imagine somebody saying you will lose 12 pounds, you will lose 12 kg, you lose 10 kg in a month. Yes, all those things look true at the beginning, but they're actually not true, because in reducing weight, there is a process. It is better you reduce little by little, and then you'll be able to maintain it, because these things are customs. So if I give you a way of reducing 10 kg now, and then you reduce that weight once, because you have built an habit of a diet over time, you will go back to it. And so that's why you see them reducing weight and coming back to it. But imagine properly planning a diet whereby the person loses 1 kg per month, and he loses it consistently. By the time it takes time like that, what happens is the person have now built a dietary habit in which he can be able to sustain that loss of weight. So what we do is in loss of weight, let's say this pounded yam and vegetable soup will give you 800 kilocalories, or the whole food you need per day. There is a way we calculate it. The whole food a man needs per day, let's say, I'm just using this as a reference. If I look at your activity series, are you a sedentary worker? When I mean sedentary worker, maybe you just sit around, or you are a moderate worker, or let's say, for instance, a secretary is a sedentary worker. You can't compare him to a bricklayer or somebody running a truck. So what we do is, when we look at everything, calculate with your weight, age, whether you're a male or a female, and then you are able to get the ideal body weight of the person and what the kilocalorie person in per day. Let's say, for instance, the person needs 1,800 kilocalorie per day, and then to lose weight, what you do is, instead of giving that person 1,800 kilocalorie per day, you can plan a diet that will be giving that person 500 kilocalorie per day. That means that person is losing 300 kilocalorie per day. Now, for every protein, every carbohydrate and protein, if 1 gram is 4 kilocalorie, are you getting it? So if I'm to convert it now, let that 300 now, I'm converting into kilocalories, to that will be 300 divided by 4. Then that's divided by 1,000 to get it in kilogram. Now, so if you calculate that over days, you see that the person is losing weight. Why? Because from the diet, he's not eating up to what he needs. So the body begins to break this. Because the body is not getting to what it needs, it begins to break the fat stores. That's what happens when we fast. What happens is the body goes to the fat deposits and begin to reduce the nutrient that has been, the excess one that has been stored. So another way of reducing weight apart from the diet is by exercise. And then you don't just rush exercises. Everything needs to be consistent. If it's little by little, you understand, but you can be able to maintain it. So after what exercise does is it increases your expenditure. When I mean expenditure, when you eat, when you take in calorie, that one is what you have. But when you maybe when you do activities and every time you burn it, that one is an expenditure. So what it happens is it reduces your expenditure, and then you now go for exercises. Each exercise has the amount of kilocalorie it burns. So somebody that is just walking is not the same as somebody that is playing football. So you choose an exercise that is suitable for you. And most times, people will not want to listen, but it is better to see you see a physical education people, or people that can help you through it, because you don't just choose it by yourself. There are some exercises that are not too good for old people, but in burning weight it should be a consistent thing, not just something you just lose the weight over time or once like that. It's not a miracle. It takes process.
Okay, it's not a miracle, it takes process. So finally, we'll be wrapping things up right now on the program. I know you have a lot of questions to ask our dietitian here in the house. I know you have many things to ask, but you know what? You know how we do it. You just do well to send your messages via the email that will be displayed right now on the screen. Send your emails there. We'll get to reply your emails, and also the dietitian is here. We could reach out to him one of these days to come back and also get feedback on him concerning answers to the questions that were sent in. And don't forget the phone number also, it will still be displayed to you there, that you should also send your messages, text messages there and all. So before he gives us maybe the final advice to us concerning our diet in this period, I just want to take yes, I want to take for our last episode, let us take some comments on YouTube. We are strictly here, and also don't forget that you can follow us on Instagram and also on all social media platforms. But let us read this from this is coming from Joy Wakocha. Said a comparison can make one unproductive for the times he or she has been comparing. It's not a good thing. Priska Charles, hear him well, peeps. Is loaded. Okay, thank you very much. And this from Abigail Additional. She said, I will major in my major and minor in my minor. Welcome back, Busayo. Okay, remember that we had a short break and we are back again and getting it running. Thank you very much for your comments and all. We really, really appreciate. So let's get back to Joshua in the studio. Joshua, please, can you just give us advice, final words concerning diets in this period and all?
Firstly, I want to say, let us not panic at this time. Let's be deliberate about our diet. Let us not just take junks. It doesn't help at this time. Don't involve yourself in too much soft drinks and drink. But just instead of soft drink, you could replace them with smoothies, with fruit juice and things like that. And lastly, do everything in your best capability to build your immune system. Take in vitamins, vegetables, and help yourself. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Don't forget that the program comes back again next week, and same time and same place and same all. Okay, till we come back away again, we'll say bye for now.